Dear Rita, I am Harvey Levinson, Professor Emeritus of Graphic Communication at Cal Poly State University in San Luis Obispo, California. I had the privilege of being Professor and Department Head of Graphic Communication for 30 years, and I am the author of the first edition of Introduction to Graphic Communication, published 10 years ago. Now, you are reading the new and improved multi-book edition co-authored by my colleague and former executive editor of the famous Siebold Reports, John Parsons. By having acquired this book, you are part of history in the making for the publishing industry. This is the first book ever produced using Ricoh's clickable paper technology, a technology that brings text and graphics alive by video demonstrations and explanations about the text. Yes, this book literally speaks to you to enhance understanding and the learning experience. You are looking at a prototype designed specifically for Print 17. As an example of what the final book will look like when published by early 2018. This prototype includes 2 chapters as examples: the chapter on the history of printing and the chapter on printing processes. Let's first start with the history of printing learning outcomes. The learning outcomes of this chapter are to understand the role that graphic communication has played in the history of communication dating back thousands of years. To understand how meaningful technology is pervasive and lives on for long periods of time and continues even when new technology emerges. To understand the role of print media as the most influential, pervasive, meaningful, and detailed form of mass communication for over 560 years. To understand about the key figures, the innovators, the critical thinkers, and the movers and shakers of graphic communication throughout the centuries. To understand how history is a window on the future, and how by understanding the history of technology, one can reasonably predict what's to come. And finally, to understand how every traditional institution of society has grown and benefited by printing and graphic communication. Education, law, religion, politics, and the arts, architecture, business, and commerce, and more are just examples.